Welcome back, traders. Today we are going to be talking about Bitfarms. It's easily one of the cheapest Bitcoin mining stocks that I trade personally. Currently trading at $1.26. It's been sort of locked at that price all day today. But today we're going to take a look at it, do a little bit of a deeper dive into it, as well as talk about potential stock price appreciation when the bull run does eventually greet us next year. So first, we're going to look at the price. Bitfarms is $1.26. You can see year to date it's up 193%, and the last 90 days it's up 5%. 6 months 32%. 1 year it's actually down for a year. 3 year we're up 270% over the 3 year, and we don't really need to go any further than that. We're really only interested right now and where we're going into the future right now. You can see that they've got a $303 million market cap. They've got 33 million in cash or cash equivalents and 31 million in debt, meaning that they are cash positive right now. So they have more cash than debt. That's something I really like to see, especially from a smaller company like this, a penny stock. Basically, I like to see that they have cash. That's good. I like that. And let's see what else we're looking at. They've got the volume. Their average volume for 3 months is 9.9 million. Today's volume was 4.25, so volume's a bit lower. We'll take a look at some other volume charts here. Oh, you can see the volume here. It's been getting smaller, but it is still, it's about like what it was back here a while ago. All right, analyst forecast on this thing. So the average analyst forecast, there's only 2 ratings, so take that with a grain of salt, is $4. That's the average upside, and it says 217%. So on average, the two analysts that took a look at this, their average is $4. That's 214% higher, and then $5 is also in there. I would argue that it would go much higher than this when the bull run actually kicks in, but this is what they're saying for 12 months from now. What else is going on in here? Let's see, insider transactions. There was some selling, 91,000 shares, which is really not that much for Bitfarms. It's pretty small amount of shares. Blogger sentiment is bullish. It's got a rating of 7 on tip ranks here. That's not bad. And anything above a 5, I'm not upset about, especially when they're not even profitable at -2. There are profitable companies that don't get a 7. Crowd wisdom is very negative, but of course, this is the time to be looking at these things is when the average trader is concerned and looking at it negatively. New sentiments is all positive. Estimated technicals, momentum is down. Obviously, it's down on a lot of stuff. Return on equity obviously is bad right now with Bitcoin being down. Asset growth going to be bad right now with being in a crypto winter. But we're not trading fundamentals. We're trading the momentum when it does come, and it will come. And basically, trading Bitcoin is honestly what this is all about. Let's see. I believe it shows up on this one here. Let's see. Yeah, Bitfarm 7 very oversold penny stocks to buy right now. This was just a fun article I stumbled upon today. Bitfarms is on here, next to a lithium company and an automotive company. Let's see. They carry a strong balance sheet and a healthy growth in mining capacity. Yeah, if they get their mining capacity up going into the bull run, Bitfarms will do very well. That'd be pretty great. Let's see what they have to say about it, though. I haven't actually read this yet, so let's take a look here. Still appears attractive even after running up 225% for the year, all thanks to a rally in Bitcoin. That's all true. Expects Bitcoin to trade at $120,000 by the end of 2024. I don't know about that, but it's entirely possible if the bull run comes in 2024, we could totally see that price pretty easily, actually. But the expectation is that that won't happen until 2025. But like I've mentioned in previous videos, 2024 could be the bull run. It could happen with all the catalysts that are lining up. If this estimate holds true, I expect Bitfarms stock to skyrocket by at least 5 times over. So that'd be actually a pretty conservative amount here for if you look at how much these mining stocks skyrocket when Bitcoin goes into a bull run. So 5 is actually pretty conservative for this asset class. Let's see. First, the company's fundamentally strong. Yeah, they have strong liquidity buffer. It's positioned for aggressive expansion in their capacity. Bitcoin trades near previous highs, Bitfarms will be positioned for massive margin expansion. And if you get margin expansion, you get multiples expansion, which equals lots of money in our pocket if we are holding this stock. So I like that. That's pretty great. Let's have a look, see here at Bitfarms. Let's look at their chart. Their daily chart's kind of doing exactly what I said it was going to do in a previous video. We bounced off the 120 here. Might have touched 119 for a short period of time. Went bounced off that real hard to the top of our downward channel. We came up, tested this green trend line that I mentioned. We actually got a bit of a liquidity grab here to close this gap. Almost went for this supply zone up here at 144 before just dumping immediately right back down to where my box at 120, which is also the base of this upward trend that I'm drawing here. And now we're just sort of lingering along the bottom of the upward trend. If Bitcoin does even a modest move upward, even just back into the 27,000 range, we're probably going to see Bitfarms easily get back up and above into this $45 range. I do believe that 120 is probably the bottom on Bitfarms, unless Bitcoin dumps down to say 22,000 or lower. Then we'll see it come down into this range here, the $1, 109 level. But there is a lot of support down here that is going to, like, tons of support right here that is going to keep this stock above a dollar, or even above $1.10 likely. Let's have a look see here at the smart money. Smart money. Which one was I looking at for this? There should be a fair value gap in here, and there it is. So the reason I drew this dashed line was I had this big long wick showing tons of bullish momentum down in this area between 109 and honestly 102. And then shortly after, a few hours, and this one moves slow, so it wasn't immediately after, but a few hours, might have been a day actually. No, it was a week. Wow. A week later, we get this big fair value gap as it comes back into this zone around 110, 109. It was there for a few hours and then big move up, retest just to fake you out, and then just launched. So if we get back into this zone here, I'm expecting a lot of resistance. I'm expecting a lot of volatility to the upside if we see it reach this area. Now, with that said, watch it just slice right through it and go under a dollar without even stopping now that I've said it. But I'm expecting it to go up from there, and I will buy pretty heavy if I see it come down in here. Honestly, every time it comes down to this 120 level, I've been picking up a few more shares as I wait for it to rebound. So, what are we thinking in terms of what Bitfarms can do overall? Let's have a look see. Let me put it back on the weekly candle. So each candle represents a week. You can see how just ugly my chart actually kind of is down here, where all the action is taking place. We got our upward channel here, or trend line, excuse me. We got a gap up here. We need to fill at some point above $2, almost at $3. We've got what else? We really got to get above this area here, like the 220 range before we're really doing well again. So let's see what we're gonna do. We want to have a top. This is our top at what is that? $10. We got our top at $10. I don't want that to be dashed. I want that to be a regular line. Great. All right, now we got our bottom from before. All right, we got our bottom from before. That's down here at, let's call it 21 cents. All right, so honestly, with these miners, with mining stocks, what I am saying to myself, and this is my plan, is that when we get back to the previous all-time high, in this case of $10, I will be selling enough stock to cover my original cost base. That way, everything that is in my account at that point in time is all profit. So anything above that $10,000 range is all profit there. And that's pretty great. So if I, if I if I only spend what, like $2,000 on this, I'd need to sell 200 shares to get my 2,000 back at $10. That'd be great. I'll probably honestly be averaging out around this high here, probably about nine, maybe even 8.75 to $9. I'll start selling, and I'll end up selling like maybe 15 to 20% more shares than I would need to at $10 as it averages as I average up in my selling up to $10, and that's where I will get out in terms of my original cost basis. Will be by $10. I will have my original cost basis back, and everything else in this trade will be profit above that level. And after that, I really don't care what happens because I'm all profit. So anyways, how are we going to do this? Let's get our calculator out. We were at $10. Divide that by 21 cents. We did 47x last time around. So 47 and a half, a little more than 47 and a half, actually. So where was our bottom this time? Our bottom this time is, let's have a look, see here, right about there, 37 cents. Where's my line? About 37 cents. So if we take this number times by 37 cents, we're looking at about $17. So if our move this time around can be the same as it was in the last full cycle, which is entirely possible, entirely within the realm of possibility that we could do that, maybe even more. We're looking at a stock price for Bitfarms at $17.61. That is, honestly, that is my goal here for Bitfarm. Now, will I be holding and waiting for $17.61 to sell my Bitfarm stock? No, no, I will not. So let's go and mark this up here. So 1761 is what we're looking at. So honestly, in that case, since our goal is 1761, I will likely be looking to exit my trade anywhere above 1450. Anywhere above 1450. I'll start selling at 1450. Start getting out of my position. I'll probably sell maybe 25-30% of whatever remains at 1450. 1550, I'll sell another 20%. 1650, another 20%. And if it gets above $17, I'll just sell the rest. Or conversely, if it never goes up to $17, I will sell the rest. I will have a stop loss protecting the rest of my Bitfarms at, let's say, $11. And my hopeful return on this will be significant. So I'm actually looking to hold something about 1600. That's my goal with Bitfarms. I could go higher. I probably should go higher. So 1600 at today's value, $1.26. Look at about $2,000. If I start selling a set, let's just say I get out at $10. Let's just make the math easy. So $2,000 divided by 10. We're looking to sell 201 shares of Bitfarms. So that would be 1,400 remaining. And then if we times that by, let's say 0.2, just keep the math easy, 280 at 1450. Whoops. 280 at 1450, $4,000, 280 at 1550, another, oh, whoops, 280 at 1550, another 4,300 plus, 4,000. We're looking at 8,000, and then another 280 at, let's say, 16.5, another 4,620 on top of that. So we're looking at, what was that, for a 12, like, looking to collect somewhere in the range of $12,000 to $13,000 off of this. And then with our cost basis back, in total, we'll have like $14,000 off of 1,600 shares. Now, that's not like a ton of money, but that's a good base. That gives you a base that you can do other types of trades with. And I'll talk about different types of trades that I do later on, maybe when these are calmer or I don't know. I feel like every single day something's happening in these mining stocks. But that's sort of my plan with Bitfarms. Get my cost basis back to $10, 1450 or higher, start scaling out. And hopefully collect enough money to buy, I don't know, a nice used car at some point or something. Here's this one. This one's just a little bit of fun here. Saw this on my Webull app today in the news section for Bit Digital. Bit Digital, the blue chip crypto equity. I do have a lot of Bit Digital as well. This is another one I really like. The thing I like about Bit Digital is that it leverages both Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it's doing both. I like that it's got slight diversification in the crypto space, and that makes me feel a little bit better about holding it for the future. I've done my price prediction on Bit Digital already. You can go ahead and check out that video. I've already made it. My opinions have not changed about where Bit Digital could go in this bull run. You should check it out if you're interested and what I think Bit Digital could potentially do in the next bull run. So anyways, Q2 performance, yeah, it was fine, nothing great. Where's the thing? Balance sheet. So they have a really good balance sheet. 18 million cash and equivalents, 31 in digital assets, 30 million combined property, equipment and disposal. Like they have a good amount of cash. They're well capitalized, just like the farms. Let's see, the risk. So the risk in Bit Digital that they explain is that there could be dilution risk. Um, they could issue more stock and dilute the stock, which has already happened with Marathon Digital. They have not issued the stock yet, but they have passed the vote to dilute the stock if they want to, and that doesn't sit so well with me and has caused me to reduce the share count that I will eventually be accumulating of Marathon. So it has reduced the amount of shares I want for Marathon because of that fact. But, do your own research, make your own decisions. That was just my decision based on my research there. Let's see what else we got here. That's really it right now. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, yeah, it came down to my box and is just hanging out on it. It touched this line, came up, touched this line, went down. It's going to follow down here a bit. It's going to bounce around. I probably should move this up a little bit where it actually is, but I'll leave it just so I can see how well I am predicting things here as I go. We still have this downward trend line here. Even if it comes up, it could bounce right back off of it. In order to get bullish again, on Bitcoin, it needs to get above this 26,815 level here, right here, above this one little wick. It's got to get above and hold above that. It can't just wick above that. It's got to get above and stay above that level. Otherwise, we are still bearish. If this breaks, here, let's take a look at where we might go if we break further down. If we break further down, there's really not much holding us up until we get down into the 23s. That's the next level where we got some decent support. Yeah, right in here between 24-ish and let's call it 23. 24 and 23. That's where we're headed. We'll do another one of these big old knives straight down. Look how this went from 29 all the way to 26, almost into the 25s. We'll do that again. We'll go to the 24, 23s, maybe even the 23, 22s down in this area if we do another leg down, which is entirely possible. As long as we're down here, flirting around with 26,000 in the 25s. As long as we're still doing that, 22 is totally within the cards and could happen within a day or two, just like this. These are 1 day candles. We had 1, 2, 3, 4 days to get us down, and it went all the way to 25,600 from 29,000. Keep that in mind. This thing moves and it moves fast. It moves viciously. It will hurt your positions quickly. So right now we're still looking at bearish territory. This could still be a bear flag right here. It could still, like, it's wedging. It's doing a wedge, which I don't love, but I mean maybe it's basing. But it is looking a lot like distribution. If I'm being completely honest, it's looking a bit more like distribution, and that we'll probably see another leg down sometime in September. You have to remember that September is a really bad month. Let's see Bitcoin's seasonality. Seasonality of Bitcoin. Let's see which one's got a good chart for me to look at. Preview. Oh, let's take a look at this. Bitcoin seasonality. Yeah, August -2. Let's see, what are we doing in, let's see, BTC USD. Let's go. Let's see, 1 month. We're down 11% for the month, so we've done worse than that. Let's see, what was our return in July? Weekdays. Yeah, no, I'd rather just look at this. Okay. September average -10% on Bitcoin. Followed by October, an average of +13, November, an average of +21. Now remember that October, November, and to some extent December are all heavily weighted with the rallies, with the Bitcoin bull cycles. They tend to, not always, I shouldn't say always, they tend to peak in November and then start dumping into December and January. And February is a bit of a dead cat bounce as we go into the winter. April, I think, is heavily skewed from the 2021 run up where we got our all-time high in April last time. So keep that in mind too. Take all this with a grain of salt. These numbers are, for the upward numbers, they're probably closer to like half of what they are actually reading. But that's still a 7% increase in October and a 10.5% increase in November on average, even if you take half of that out. So September could be rough. Keep an eye out for that. Watch the charts. Take care. Be careful. Choose your trades strategically. That's the important thing to remember in September. Do things strategically. So that's it for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content and you'd like to see more of it, and have a profitable day.